that are here also to testify. Thank you.
Thank you. Next proponent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Don Roberts, ROB-RTS. I'm from House District 56, Northwest Billings. I concur with what Representative Milburn stated, and I'll make my speech very short. He took a lot out of it. Over the past many years in my other life, I worked as an oral maxillofacial surgeon. As part of my job, I was to get what's called a BNDD number, which is called the Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs. Schedule 1 is one of the drugs that we do not normally prescribe for those situations. Marijuana is a Schedule 1 drug along with heroin and some of the others. They're extremely addictive. In the past few years, just before I retired, I was amazed at the number of young teenagers coming in my office who had green cards, medical marijuana cards, for very specious and dubious reasons, but they were proud of the cards. Over the years, I took care of a gentleman who had come up to Montana to sell drugs. He was part of the Crip gang down in L.A. Somebody had taken a baseball bat to his midface to convince him this is not where he should be. He was in their territory. And he decided it was kind of the Amway version of how drug distribution, but marijuana was the introductory drug, and it's the introductory drug that a lot of people take before they get to heroin. When I write prescriptions for acute pain, marijuana is not part of my protocol. On the Native American reservations in Montana right now, it's still a federal crime. If you write for you cannot get marijuana on the federal reservations right now. It's against the law. It's against the law for a pharmacist to prescribe it, so that's why it's given outside the system. People who are on marijuana have many claims as to wonderful medicinal qualities, but they seem to be poorly peer-reviewed. Most of it is incidental type of situations, and the biggest factor is that it's addictive. On one hand, in Montana, we are fighting tooth and nail, trying to stop people from smoking cigarettes, but on the other hand, we're trying to endorse medical marijuana. We're going to spend millions of dollars to tell people not to light up for nicotine, and the more dubious medicine is the marijuana. There are many carcinogenic agents within the marijuana smoke, and as Representative Milburn alluded, maybe they should go to the specific items within the marijuana constituency in order to provide the medicines that you need. Oncologists have been implicated by saying that with the nausea they have, that marijuana can prove helpful to their patients. Most oncologists will admit to you that there are many medicines available that do not have the side effects of marijuana, that don't have the addictive nature of it, and will not end up in your medicine cabinet, only be distributed to their friends during some of these rave parties that they have, where they go into somebody's cabinet and they just take out all the pills and then they drop them into a container and they start taking the pills at a party, not knowing what's in those pills. Medical marijuana is one of the things that right now we're seeing people still being held up and robbed. If you have a medical marijuana card, I believe in the paper within the past year we've had a couple deaths in Montana because people are trying to get this. Medical marijuana, for some people, the MS seems to, or the neuropathic diabetic seems to give some relief, but there are other medicines that can do that also. I'm deeply opposed to the fact that people who go into addictive treatment centers many times will have a green card, and you can take care of all my other addictions, but you can't touch the one with medical marijuana because I have a green card, and that's illegal. When you have a car that's going at 88 feet per second, that's a car going 60 miles an hour, 88 feet per second, you have somebody on marijuana that can cause a lot of harm. When I was in my residency, I took care of a guy who had just killed a family of 4 while he was high on marijuana, and it was the other family's fault for being on the road the same time he was. Totally the most unconcerned individual I've ever seen. But it warps our perspective of what's right and wrong. And so with this background, there are many other medicines that can be prescribed. There's a lot of the claims that these people make are very dubious and spacious. They're not peer-reviewed, and therefore I support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Next